I've helped hundreds of women who have felt stuck in a cycle of overwhelm, burnout, perfectionism, make the pretty simple shift to feeling fulfilled, in control, and confident. And it all starts with purpose. The problem is that defining your purpose feels like such a big thing that we don't want to get wrong. Most people don't ever do it. It seems like such a big thing that they never take the time to stop and think about it. And then they are left floundering in the same endless cycle of perfectionism and anxiety, never feeling truly fulfilled. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to do it. It's not hard. And I'll be right here with you. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what you value and what will be the driving force behind your true contentment. This will set the foundation for being able to prioritize what gets your attention in life and what is just noise and distraction. So let's do it. We're going to do the work right here today. No homework. You're going to want to overthink all this, but I'm not going to let you overthink it. That's where people get stuck and don't move forward with any game plan. So let's dig in. Let's start by developing your vision, your purpose. This is your why. This is critical. When it comes to motivation and goal achievement, you simply won't succeed in putting in the consistent work towards your goals if you don't understand why you're doing them. Now, you aren't starting from scratch, but I want you to think about what's next for you. What is that next level of what you're striving for personally, professionally, in your relationships? I'm going to first have you do some thinking. What is your purpose in life? Now, I know that's a big question. So big, in fact, that it's usually met with some chuckles and some question marks. You may have put some thought into this already, but most people haven't taken the time to think about it because it's just such a big question. In this case today, and in many cases in life, done is better than perfect. Now, I'll give you my purpose. My purpose is to experience love and to help others. I want you to think of your purpose as like your North Star. So let me tell you a story. A few years ago, my son was around 2, and it was bath time. And I remember that I was just sitting next to the bathtub with my phone, checking emails with my son while he took a bath. Now, I realized in that moment that I was living life checking things off a list and not truly happy, not truly enjoying my time. And my purpose is to experience love and help people. Taking the time to be fully engaged in what I was doing with my family during bath time was allowed and should be prioritized instead of feeling guilty. When I remind myself of my purpose, my actions start to fall into line with what's truly important to me. When I feel myself starting to experience stress or anxiety in my life, it's usually because I've veered from my purpose. When I'm on the phone with clients or giving a speech or hosting a workshop, when I keep my focus on helping people versus on self-doubt or results, the results are undoubtedly better and it keeps the pressure off. When I keep my focus on allowing myself to experience the love of my family and loved ones, it doesn't seem to matter so much whether my son makes a soccer team or whether we've signed our kids up for enough stuff. And when I keep my focus in my career on helping others, on making an impact, everything else seems to fall into place. So a couple guidelines for developing your purpose. Number 1, it's best to state your purpose as simply as possible. And be sure to have an aspect of your purpose that's centered around yourself. While it's noble to try to have a purpose that's totally centered around others, this is just not sustainable. So for me, the aspect of my purpose that's centered around myself is to experience love. Again, mine is to experience love and help others. Your purpose doesn't have to be anything like mine, or it can be very similar to mine. If it resonates with you, use it. We just want to get a starting point, and we can adjust it along the way. Now, I do want you to actually write your purpose down. While thinking about these things that I'm asking you to think about, certainly better than the alternative of not thinking about them, writing them down has been empirically shown to be 9 times more impactful. So the pen to paper aspect of this is really important. So take a few seconds right now. Find a piece of paper. Write down your purpose as simply as possible. Type it in your phone if you don't have a paper nearby. You don't have to get it perfect. Now, the next aspect of establishing your vision is to identify your top priorities in life, specifically your top 3 priorities. Now, I know there's likely more than 3 things that are important to you in life, but we're going to prioritize the top 3. We have to be careful where we put our focus because we have limited capacity. When we prioritize everything, we prioritize nothing. Now, typically when working with individuals on this, the themes that tend to show up are relationships, so being a great father or wife or other relationships, professional success, and then personal health or spirituality. Again, yours don't have to be those, but those are just what tend to emerge. Mine are my personal health and happiness, my family, and my career. So I want you to take 10 seconds right now and just write down your top 3 priorities in life. The 3 things in your life that are most important to you. Now, there's an old adage that if you don't know where you're going, you have a 0% chance of getting there. So let's further script where we're going. Now that we've established your purpose and priorities in life, remember, we didn't need to get them perfect, but we're going to turn this into your long-term vision of self-image. This is a mental snapshot of who you want to be and what you want your life to be in the next 3 to 5 years. It's a specific, concrete mental representation of your why. Now, your vision of self-image should have 1 scene for each of your 3 priorities in life. Now, I'll give you mine. So remember, my purpose in life is to experience love and help others. And my priorities are my personal health and happiness, my family, and my career. So my first scene in my vision of self-image represents that personal health and happiness that I want to experience in the next 3 to 5 years. So my scene starts with me seeing myself returning back to my house from a run. It's morning time. I've just dropped my kids off at school before the run. I see myself turning back onto my street to come back to my house. I focus on feeling energized because I know that I've prioritized my health and I've exercised consistently. And I'm excited to sit down and start my coaching calls for the day, knowing that I get to make an impact on people's lives. Now, as I return to my house, I see that we've made some updates to it, and it looks exactly the way I want it to. That represents me just getting to continue the creative aspect of what I love, which is decorating and designing our house. My second scene takes place at our lake house. I see myself on our dock. Now, we don't currently have a dock now, but my husband and I are sitting in a couple of white Adirondack chairs. I've got a glass of wine, and we're watching our boys swim and slide off the dock. They're having a blast, and I'm just feeling so much love for my family and contentment and pure happiness in that moment. I feel a strong connection to my husband. We look at each other and smile in a way that signifies that we're so lucky and thankful for the moments that we've had together as a family in this house. Represents the aspect of my purpose and my priorities of experiencing the love of my family. So my third scene takes place at home toward the end of the day. Now this represents my career success. I finished my last coaching call of the day, and my client thanks me at the end of the call as she recounts the place that she was in before starting working with me. And I just take a moment to feel so thankful for the work I get to do. And then I close my computer and I go join my family without my phone. This represents a big piece of my purpose in helping others, and it reminds me of why I do what I do and how lucky I feel to do it. So you see from that you want to put some details in there, some symbolism. That's what makes it sticky. Have a scene, have a location, have a set. And again, don't worry about getting it perfect. So 3 scenes, 1 for each priority, and be sure to have that purpose represented in there somewhere. Don't worry about making it perfect. You can add to it or modify it later. Just get a start after this video. Just write down some notes on a piece of paper or in your phone for each of the 3 scenes. Now, once you have designed your vision of self-image, we can't just stop there. If we stop there, you're going to forget. And I know you're smart. I know you're motivated, but we forget. We are all so overloaded in life that we simply forget things, even the important things, even when we think we won't forget them. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to set a reminder to go off on your phone every day. Pick a time that you think will work best for you. And when that reminder goes off, take 30 seconds to review the details of that vision of self-image. 30 seconds to visualize it. Really put yourself in those scenes. 10 seconds per scene, 30 seconds total. Feel the way you want to feel. Content, fulfilled, confident, energized. Now, when you're visiting that vision of self-image, that purpose on a daily basis, there is no way that it won't impact the way you go throughout your day. It'll take you 30 seconds, but it's one of the most impactful ways that you can spend 30 seconds of your day. This is the first step I do with every client, and the first step we do in the RSF Women course and community. When we don't start with purpose and vision, we simply don't know what we're working for. And when we don't know what we're working for, there's no way we'll maintain the consistency and motivation for an unknown. So I'm going to leave you now to write down a few details for each scene. Just get a start. Now, every day that alarm goes off for you to take 30 seconds to review that vision of self-image, just add another detail or two until it feels complete. You can always adjust it along the way. It doesn't need to be perfect. And when you start visiting this vision on a daily basis, you will find that your confidence and motivation go to a new level. Now, if you want to keep going with this, go on to watch the next video in the series about turning this vision of self-image into the full mental workout. The mental workout has been the secret weapon for boosting motivation and focus in so many elite performers. And it's so simple to create. I'll show you exactly how.